Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Money G. It's time to review the latest film from Roger Eggers. Yes, everyone is waiting for this. Yes, it is time to review Nosferatu.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Money G. Now, Nosferatu is a 2024 American Gothic horror film. It was written and directed by Robert Eggers. It is based upon Nosferatu by Hendrik Galen and also based upon the novel Dracula by Bram Stoker. Now, the film stars Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Hope, Lily Rose Depp, Alan Taylor Johnson, Ralph Ivanson, and William Dafoe. Now, in this film, it's a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and a terrifying vampire infatuated with her. Now, horror fans, when it comes to vampires in horror films, none are more popular than the vampire that was based upon Vlad the Impaler, and that is Count Dracula. Now, created by the Irish author Abraham Bram Stoker, his 1897 novel Dracula would be used to make many horror films featuring the Count. You know, from Universal Monsters 1931 film Dracula, then we have the Hammer Dracula horror series that starred the late great Christopher Lee, Francis Ford Coppola's 1992 film, and among many others, whether it's serious versions of Dracula, Dracula has some parts in the particular film, or even comedy versions, such as George Hamilton's. That's because it seems that many horror fans and mostly vampire fans can't get enough of seeing the Count, whether it's on film or TV, because we actually had several TV shows that featured Count Dracula. However, American filmmaker Roger Eggers, who gave us The Witch and The Lighthouse, brings us his latest project. It's the vampire film that actually came before Dracula, Nosferatu. Now, taking place in a town called Wisburg, Germany in 1838, we're introduced to Thomas Hutter, an up and coming estate agent who has been tasked by his employer, Herr Knock, on an important commission. He is to head out and finalize a real estate deal to a reclusive and eccentric Count Orlok, selling the decrepit stately home Skolas Grunwald. Yep, he's got to go all the way up to Carpathian Mountains and finalize this deal, and he is set for life. No, unfortunately, after he arrives there, he learns that Orlok is a vampire or a Nosferatu. And after seeing his wife Ellen's picture, he believes that Orlok is heading to Winsburg and will make Ellen his next victim. Now, can Thomas escape the castle and save his beloved wife before Orlok seduces Ellen and makes her his bride? That's kind of what the film is all about. Now, horror fans, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're saying, horror fans. Didn't we see this before in the 1992 film from Francis Ford Coppola? Because it sounds familiar. That's because, horror fans, you have to remember that the original 1932 silent film Nosferatu was an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's 1897 novel, and Henrik Galen changed the names of all the characters in that particular film so they wouldn't be the same because he didn't want to get sued, which he did anyway, but that's the reason why every name got changed. I mean, even to the point where instead of calling the vampire Count Dracula, they called him Count Orlok and decided to use, I think it's a German name. I forget what Nosferatu comes, but they called him a Nosferatu instead of a vampire. So they definitely want to keep everything away. So he does his keep away. So it's not similar to what Dracula's novel is based upon, even though everything is kind of the same. Now, for this film, you really must give Eggers credit because he has done a fantastic job with this film. I really did enjoy this film, which I expected to be based upon almost everyone has been almost everyone has been saying how great this film is. I tried to avoid it before this film came out, but a lot of people had seen it before. Even before it came out Wednesday, everyone was saying how great this film was, how great the film looks. I tried my best to avoid it, so I'm not surprised when I finally saw it. Man, this film looks great. I mean, first of all, it's a visual masterpiece about how the film looks, the atmosphere, of the tone, and the cinematography. Eggers has once again does a great job. I mean, when you look at his film from The Witch and The Lighthouse, even The Norseman that he made, which is not horror film, he has a great style of making you feel that you're actually in that time period. And he does the same thing here in this particular film. I mean, when you're looking at this film, you can see how he chooses to show how grim and dreary Winsberg is, using light and dark gray coloring. I mean, even when there's something, even during the nice days, there's still a feel of dread of this particular town. It's not happy. No one is happy. No one's smiling and happy. It's just very dark. I mean, it's almost as if we're watching a black and white film. It's like Eggers is paying homage to Galen's 1932 silent classic film. That's what we're looking at here. I mean, if it wasn't for the wonderful costumes that they use, especially the ones that Lily Ray Depp wears as Ellen in this particular film, she wears some very good costumes in there to give it a big color against the gray. You actually think you're watching a black and white film. I mean, even when we get to Orlok's castle, it's dark and creepy looking, and you just feel the evil within it. And the only safe is the orange light coming from the candles are the only thing that will save Thomas from the clutches of Orlok. Otherwise, he's a goner. No, it's mainly what the story is goes, because for those who haven't watched it, he kind of sticks mainly with the source material. He doesn't stray away from it when it comes to story, but he does add a little bit more with Ellen and her connection to Orlok. He plays more into that as opposed in the source material. Now, some people might say, you know what, this is the same thing what Coppola did with Mina and her relationship with Dracula in that film, but the relationship in this film between Ella and Orlok is quite different. Now, I won't mention what that is because I know it's going to spoil the film. I might spoil later, but basically, there is some type of connection that Ellen has with Orlok, and we get to see gets explored a little bit more in this particular film. Now, I did find it interesting on what Eggers and his team on how they created Orlok's look, as it's quite different than what I expected. Now, I'm not going to reveal what that is. I'm pretty sure people have seen the film. I'm pretty sure some people are going to have some questions about his look because it's not the same as it was in, I believe, in the 32, was it the 32 silent film? And then there was another remake. I can't remember the year that came out on, but I never saw that film. It's definitely a different look. However, I do love how Bill Skarsgård plays Orlok. He's a very terrifying and frightening creature who knows what he wants and will stop at nothing to get it. I like how they use his voice. It's dark, it's creepy, it's filled with evil, and you know when he talks, he means it. He's scared to live and shut at anybody if you ever come into his path. I mean, he's that's the one thing I did like about this particular film because he plays a truly very scary vampire. And that's one of the things a lot of people are saying that vampires are not scary anymore. But this guy is very scary. He's not romantic. He's not charming. He's not charming. He's not like the vampires we saw in Twilight. You know, it's kind of like a little bit more like the vampires that I saw in 30 Days of Night. Those type particular vampires. Those are the vampires I like to see. You know, evil and scary looking, not nice and handsome. Now, everyone does a fine job here, from Nicholas Holt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and of course, William Dafoe, who brings his usual game when he comes to the film, kind of gives the film a little bit of life when he enters the particular film. Not that the film was doing bad, but he does bring life into the film when his character comes onto the screen. Now, Lily Rose Depp, she's fantastic. She does a great job as Ellen, a woman who truly loves Thomas despite the scary connection that she has with Orlok. There's a great scene that she has between her and Bill Scarsdale in the middle of the film, going a little bit towards the second and third act of the film. They have some great interaction and explores more into this relationship that she has. And I thought they both did a fantastic job in that particular scene. And again, I really did enjoy this particular vampire film. We haven't seen a vampire film like this since the 1992 Coppola film. It's a nice gothic setting. It's visually stunning. We have excellent performances. We have creepy and scary moments that should make vampire fans happy. And finally, we actually have a vampire film that is scary. Something has been missing in vampire films for a while now. So I'm going to give Nosferatu 4 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, going to give it a 4. Like I said, truly love this particular film. Eggers has done it once again. He's a master at this particular film. Again, love the performances, love the visual representation of this particular film. Makes you feel that you're actually in this area. And again, and of course, we have a vampire that is scary again. Now, will this be the best film of the year for me? You have to take a look at my top 10, which will be coming out shortly, and you'll find out where I put this at. So there you have it, guys. That is my review and video of Nosferatu. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share. It really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen Nosferatu? Did you enjoy it? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. You tell your thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. That way, we notify anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. And I see you in my next video. I gotta stay safe out there.